Hi guys! Moko, come on, come say hi. I'm here with Moko today. Come here, pups. Come here. Come on up. Need some help? Hey, pups. Hey, Quinn. Moko says hi. Moko says hi. Hi. Yeah? You want to say hi? No. Not the legs, not the... Oh, Moko. You got a neck licking. Yeah. The hello. My name is Moko, and I'm a pain in the butt. Alright. I hope everyone's been having a happy Wednesday. Hi, Natalie. Thanks, Quinn. I wore the pearls because I'm reviewing pearl serum today, so I figured I would go along with the pearl theme. So, Moko says hello. Hello. My name is Moko. Alright. Yeah? Thanks, Natalie. I tried. This is actually my summer gown, but it's not that cold in the house today, so I figured I would wear it because it goes with the white theme. And Moko's just ready for a nap. Yeah? Are you ready for a nap? You gonna fall asleep? Right there? You gonna fall asleep right there? Alright. Oh. Alright, he wants to go down. Bye, bubs. Alright. So, wait a minute or two for folks to show up. And yes, I have stress spots all over today. Yay! It's been a day. I hope everyone's had an infinitely less stressful Wednesday than me. So, because, yeah, today was full of anger and stress, and so my face is like, I don't like you, so stress spot. Stress spot. I think the lighting makes my skin tone look more even, but definitely it's a red spots there, so I need all of the Sabbatical beauty I can get today. So, we've got a live filled with hopefully some useful information. And today is going to be a review on Pearl Serum. So I think I'm going to get started. Hi everyone, I'm Hayne. It is Wednesday and also Pi Day. And Adeline is so lovely as usual and says I look like a character from The Great Gatsby, hashtag 20s glam. So, thank you. But yeah, I'm just in my nightgown, my summer nightgown. I just put on some pearls and just wearing a white dress and no bra because I'm not at work. So glee. These lives are so much fun, you guys. I can be so comfortable. So, I'm excited every time I get to do a live and I don't have to like super dress up, but again, this is my nightgown, so it's great to be able to share things with you and be comfortable at the same time. So there's that. I hope everyone's been having a great Wednesday. It is also Pi Day, so I'm hoping you got some pie or the equivalent of pie. I have not, so it's a sad day for me because I love pie, or as we say in Alabama, pie. Pie is a word that goes very long in Alabama. And Quinn says, no need for pants too. Yes, I'm in a dress. No pants dance when I'm home. So the socks come off, the bra comes off, the pants come off, and yeah, such is life at home. So tonight, pre-live video, I've put on, after cleansing with VCCO, I've put on some Asian Powerhouse. I put on, oh, do you see my Piper's Beat? It's like, there's like 3 drops left in it. I'm a little panicky because I didn't reorder in time. And I've also put on some, oh, where did my serum go? Lotus Serum Mist, which is new in the Spring Box. And finally, I've put on some Dorian Gray's serum. So, we're waiting for Dorian Gray serum to soak in. Again, my short video on how you check on serum soaking in shows you the same thing, but I'm going to go over it again if you're in the live. So this part of your hand, and you just kind of do the how sticky are my serums test. And it's still ever so slightly sticky. I am all for waiting in between serums. Sometimes I'll wait like maybe up to half an hour if it's taking a while to soak in. So that is okay. Natalie asks, how much Dorian Gray serum do I use? I'm going to give you the super fun, super ambiguous answer of it depends. Sometimes I, on purpose, try to match my skin if it's feeling very dry that day. I do tend to use a lot more product, so I just, for example, I take the dropper and I completely empty it out, like so, just squeeze it, and then stick the dropper back in, and zoop! It's like that, oh, what is it, in Charlie's Chocolate Factory, that like chocolate elevator, was it? Like it just kind of sucks right up into the dropper. And that's how much I use for my dry skin days. And then on other days, I'll still do the same thing. I like to just empty the dropper out, but I'll only empty about half of the dropper in my hand, and then just spread out. So again, I know you're not going to like the answer, but it really depends on your skin that day. Quinn says that's quite a bit. I know, but like it's anti-aging, and it's one of the things I indulge in. Because, yeah, it's done a lot for the dark spot right here and the dark spot right here, so yeah, I indulge myself in Dorian Gray. So, that's all the stuff I have on, and I'm still, it's still a little bit, sticky. So, we're gonna wait for me to put on the Pearl Serum. But before that, I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about Pearl as a beauty ingredient, because I thought it might be interesting. Hi Carol, I'm glad you made it. So, because I'm pretty familiar with Korean beauty products, Pearl wasn't a new ingredient for me. It's, well, hold on. So, Pearl, when I was in Korea, was used in the sheet masks. So I would buy these sheet masks. They're about, I would say between $1 to $3 for the pricier ones. I think Pearl, depending on the brand, was around $3 per mask. So it was always one of the pricier ones. I remember that. And actually, it's really interesting that the Pearl Serum, to me, is the closest in consistency to the Korean sheet masks that I've used before. So it's like that kind of sticky consistency that you get in the sheet masks when you kind of like take it out of the little packs. So I'm pretty familiar with the Pearl, and that was the context that I knew it in, is in Korean sheet masks. So in terms of familiarity, that's about it though. It just to me was like a luxury product, because again, it was on the higher end of the sheet masks. And it's used in a lot of Korean, what is it called? Furniture? Oh, I can English. I'm telling you, I wish I could take 30 minutes out of my workday and do these lives, because by the time y'all get to me, I'm just like spazzed out brain-wise with communicating. So, I will try my bestest. Anyhow, Pearl to me is a luxury ingredient because it's in a lot of Korean traditional furniture, like the mother of pearl. It's inlaid in. So you see it all over the place in Korea, and again, like I said, the sheet masks were like on the more expensive side. So to me, Pearl Serum is also kind of a continuation of that idea of luxury, and the consistency too. It's got, I'm gonna try to show you. Yeah, you can't really see it very well, but it's got a nice semi-opaque sheen. Oh, there you go. You can see it a little bit. Oh, Quinn says she has 4 wall panels of mother of pearl. Oh, I'm so jealous. I only have like a small jewelry box. So it's that feeling of luxury. So I really love using Pearl Serum because it's like a little bit of a luxury me time during the day. So that's what I enjoy, first of all, like visually and kind of culturally, is it's this luxury thing for me. But it's also great for my skin, so that's great. In terms of Pearl as an ingredient and what it does for your skin, I have my notes full of Pearl stuff. So pearl is supposed to enhance the water holding effects of your skin. So retain water equals glow, sparkle glow, just like pearl. In terms of the capacity of pearl, it has calcium, lots of amino acids, and magnesium too. And also has this weird ingredient called, I don't know, probably gonna butcher this. It's called conchiolin. I can't tell if it's conchiolin or conchiolin. Anyway, it's an important part of the pearl. It's on the outer shell of the pearl. It's a complex protein, and what it does is it gives the pearl strength. What it means skin-wise is that it's supposed to even out your skin tone. So pearl serum evens and brightens your skin tone, and something really, really cool, because it's kind of more, in my mind, an ancient ingredient. I actually did some research before this live because I love learning about things, and I was like, I swear I've heard about this in like ancient K-beauty, so like, you know, hundreds of years ago, and I found something. There is a book from the year 1613, so not 1960, 1916, 1613, which is like, okay, somewhere around 300 years ago, right guys? So 300 years ago this book is from, and it's called the Dongui Bogam, which means basically the medicine of an eastern country, so it's a medicinal book. This book from 1613 recommends as a DIY dark spot corrector to mix pearl powder with milk and to put it on your face. And that's really cool that it's something that they used to use, you know, 300 years ago in Korea, that we get to get in a much more convenient format in pearl serum. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. She said I look like a glamorous movie star. I'm literally just in my summer nightgown. My summer nightgown and my summer dress. It's really comfortable. So yeah, we get this really anciently used ingredient of pearl in a very convenient serum form. So that's just a bit of a tidbit for you about pearl. I really like knowing stuff like this, if it's an ingredient that they used to use 300 flippin' years ago in Korea, and you, 300 years later, now get to use it too. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna double check on my skin. It's actually doing pretty well after the Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray usually takes me a little bit longer to soak in, but we're gonna put the pearl on. And Adeline says, in Carol's live about pearl, she talked about how her mom-in-law gave her daughter pearl powder as a baby to improve her skin. Yes, it's used for ingestion a lot more than skincare, and that's why I thought it was really cool that the book from 1613 had it as an actual like skincare thing. Natalie also says that her grandmother always used a pearl cream, and dogs, yes, calm down. And it's also hugely popular for spots in Spain and Latin America. So yeah, pearl is a very ancient ingredient. Folks have used it for a while. Something outside is making my dogs go crazy. Moko, calm down, bub. It's okay. Okay. So we are going to take some pearl serum and put it on. Actually, we're gonna let Moko out because he's being a little loud. Okay, Bubs, go outside. Thank you. There we go. All right, I'm back. So we're gonna put some pearl serum on as I talk to you folks. And again, what I showed Natalie earlier is always before I put on serums, I kind of like to empty out the dropper and squeeze it and then stick it in to the bottle and then kind of grab a whole bunch. So that's what I usually do. Put a little bit on my skin. I tend to be a little bit of a skin thrift with pearl because, again, it's that luxury thing for me. So I start out with just a little, if you can see this on my skin. It's just a tiny, tiny bit. It also tends to retain moisture, as I said in the beginning. So that's why I try to use it sparingly. So, I know you're tired of me saying this, but fourth finger, always be gentle with your face. Be gentle. Be kind to your face and self. And just start with the larger areas and start to put it on. Pearl serum as a consistency, I want to tell you, it's a lot thicker than, actually it's a lot thicker than most of my other serums. It's like almost a pressed serum, like in terms of consistency. It's almost there. So as you're spreading it out, be gentle. If you've concentrated too much in one spot, kind of pull it away, right? Grab the larger areas, like I usually do. Grab the larger areas, and grab the larger areas. And again, it kind of is a little bit more resistant than other serums, so think pressed serum, the way you put on pressed serums. The big areas, and then the chin area, and grab your other small areas too. Oh my god, you guys are killing me with all the compliments. Thank you, Adeline, for the more beautiful than should be allowed. Thanks, Gretchen, and thanks, Quinn. I appreciate all of you and all your compliments all the time. And I know you guys are tired of saying this, but always with your brow bone area. I especially like to put Pearl in the brow bone area because it's supposed to help with glow and skin tone, and I would love it if it would help highlight my brow bones. So that's what I do, and I grab all the other areas. So I try to be very sparing with the Pearl serum, right? Because it is thicker, so treat it as you would any of the pressed serums. Grab all the problematic areas, and I think we are all set. Oh, and then the sides of your mouth too. I find that this area gets dry. Gretchen, I am doing this with 4 little drops. Yes, I am. So that's what I mean about consistency and it kind of being like a pressed serum. A little really goes a long way with Pearl serum. More so, I feel like, than Dorian Gray, but probably because, yeah, I just slather this on. Sorry, probably shouldn't. I know I advocate for less is more, but this is like, I just drink up Dorian Gray. Like, not really drink it up, but like I let my skin drink it up. So hi, I am very anti-aging. Hi, Sunny. Hi, Carol. Oh, I mean, thanks, Carol. Oh, I can communicate. I swear, I do this very well. But yeah, I would go with less is more with Pearl, particularly because for me and my skin, I find that it takes the longest time to soak in for some reason. I think partly it could be the water retaining properties of Pearl powder as it is, and it could just be my skin type. So this one I try to use really, really sparingly, and it gives it enough time to soak in. So right now, it is not really that sticky. So if you just layer a slight bit and don't really like, so I want to emphasize, it may work better for you to do the pat, pat, pat application if you're trying to use a little and you don't want to pull on your, like, especially your eye skin area. So instead of doing what I did, which is like smear and then, you know, fan it out, it's the schmear fan. You may not want to try that, especially if you're sensitive with eye bag area. I would instead, and we are going to use a different product for my eye bag area. It's definitely drier. Let's finish up with blush. So I'm going to show you with blush what you may want to try. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of blush. Instead of the schmear fan, I might want to do little bits, 1, 2, 3, 4 drops. So it's like you're putting little droplets on your face and then kind of overall spreading it out instead of doing my schmear fan thing. So, and I'm just gonna put some more blush on the places that have dried. The rest of my face hasn't really dried But it looks like I did miss my hairline, so I'm just gonna put the extra Blush Beauty oil up there instead of layering on top of my not yet soaked in pearl. I would not recommend that at all. Amy asked if it's kind of like snail texture. I actually haven't used any Sabbatical Beauty snail products yet, but I did talk about this earlier. If you've used other K-Beauty sheet masks before and they're kind of like sticky as you pull them out of the packet, that's very similar to the pearl consistency. So I'm grabbing all the areas that I seem to have missed with the pearl and putting Blush Beauty oil on. So there's that. And my hands are very dry, so whatever stuff I have, I tend to do that. So now we have pearl on my face, and I have pearls on, so that was the application bit. Smear and fan or do the little droplets. So Adeline confirms with Amy that pearl serum is very similar to snail. So that should hopefully answer your question. Sunny, as a reminder, and especially for the late folks, pearl serum is good for evening out skin tone. And, oh, Sunny, I just went over this, but in the 1600s in Korea, they used it as a DIY dark spot corrector in the 1600s. So it's very cool that we get to use this 300 years later in the modern era. And thank you for the compliment, Sunny. So if you have any questions, let me know about pearl. I've covered the consistency of it, the application, kind of the history, and it doesn't really, I don't think it has a fragrance, so it shouldn't really smell. So if you're kind of like against fragrances, it should really help you. So there's that. In terms of Sabbatical Beauty's pearl serum ingredients, this one has pearl extract and pearl powder extract, hydrolyzed pearl. So when I read up on pearl as an ingredient, hydrolyzed pearl is like the really good stuff. There's a lot of products out there that will just use the pearl powder, which, you know, isn't terrible, but, you know, with other brands they use like this little amount and they say, oh, look at all this pearl. But anyways, the interwebs told me that hydrolyzed pearl is the really good stuff. That is the stuff with all the amino acids, the magnesium and the calcium and those things. Pearl powder is like a little less confirmed on what it does. A lot of people like it for its abrasive properties because it's like tiny little grits, but I don't feel any type of grittiness with this serum, so it seems to have integrated very well. I do want to remind you that because it has the pearl powder in it, definitely shake your pearl serum. Just like your other serums, you might forget because it's more, well, I tend to forget with my more thicker serums. Like Dorian Gray, I tend to forget to shake it, but like with all the other products, you should give it a vigorous, nice shake before you use it. And with pearl, instead of shaking it, I kind of like to do a slow turnover. So you can see I didn't do a great job of shaking it. Shh, don't tell Adeline. There's little pearl bits at the very bottom that you can kind of see. And so you want to make sure you shake that so you can get all the pearl goodness on your face and not just the whatever concentrated bits floated up to the top. So make sure you do kind of, you know, like a little bit of up and down motion, and I will definitely do a better job of doing that before the video, but I was really excited to put it on after I talked about the history of it. I know she's watching. I forgot. So there's that. Do you guys have any questions about pearl? Its uses and how it feels. Oh, in terms of layering, sorry, I forgot that. So it goes like my other stuff from the very thinner serums, Asian Powerhouse. My almost gone peppers. This is so tragic. I have an order. I'll be okay. I promise. Anyway. And then, hold on, I can't. And then Lotus Mist Serum, spritzed on your face. And then slapping on Dorian Gray because I'm very anti-aging. And then Pearl Serum. So, there's that. Adeline, don't go make dinner. I won't talk about you behind your back anymore. Or you can go make dinner if you're starving. You should. Eat something good. So yeah, Pearl, and then last would be Blush Beauty Oil. If you find that it's very sticky, I definitely recommend a moisturizer over it. I know that's a big favorite of folks. I actually really like, if you want to skip the Blush Beauty Oil, Pearl, surprisingly, plays very well with the Donkey Milk Gel Sleeping Pack. It could be the thickness, it could be the water retention of the Pearl Serum itself, but I can pair it with the Pearl, it meaning Donkey Milk Gel Sleeping Pack, and it will not flake. So, there's that. Sunny, yes, I'm wearing Pearl for the first review. I'm so glad you got it. So, there's that. You could use it last in terms of steps, but again, I'm sure some people will find it sticky. That was my husband's, not particularly beef, but he likes complaining when I put on the skincare. So he was like, oh, this is really sticky. So afterwards, I'll either put on Blush Beauty Oil for him and or the Donkey Milk Gel Sleeping Pack. This particularly makes it feel very matte. And if you're having problems with Donkey Milk Gel Sleeping Pack flaking up, I would definitely recommend either the Blush Beauty Oil or the Pearl. So there's that. And again, you can layer either Blush Beauty Oil underneath the Pearl or over the Pearl. It kind of depends on what your needs are, how you feel like. I like using it afterwards because it tends to get rid of the stickiness very fast for me. Sunny asks if I have tried Radiance. I actually have not. I know we just talked about Pearl being the same consistency as the Snail Serum. And to me, it's also very similar to the Korean sheet masks for other KVD products, that kind of like sticky viscosity. But the difference, and I forgot to go over this earlier, my biggest beef with, Gretchen says I am frozen on the screen. Am I frozen on everyone else's screen? I hope not. So, Adeline says Radiance thickness is also similar to Pearl. So, Sunny, I hope that answers your question, and I hope I'm not frozen on the screen. Oh, sheet masks, right. So why I mentioned the Korean sheet masks and Pearl is my biggest beef with the Pearl sheet masks in particular is you're supposed to wait until the sheet mask dries, right? And then you take it off with other K-Beauty sheet masks. But every time, like, I would feel my face and I would wait for it to soak in and wait for it to soak in. Like, Korean sheet masks would never soak in. My skin would be, like, sticky for hours, and then, yeah, and some of them, they recommend that you wash it off, but to me, that was, like Marissa said in her live, it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, if you're gonna do the Korean sheet masks and then wipe it off, I was like, I don't know. Because when I wipe off Korean sheet masks, my skin feels exactly the same as it did before. Anyway, that was my concern with the Pearl Serum. Excuse me. That it would stay sticky forever, to kind of go with your point, Sunny. But if you use it sparingly enough and you do my pat droplet application instead of the schmear fanning application, I feel like it does soak in. But again, it depends on your skin needs. For me, it's not a daily PM application or a daily AM application. It's kind of a luxury item that I indulge in during the week. It's like chocolate. I'm not an everyday chocolate person, but I like to indulge in it from time to time. So for me, I don't feel the need to moisturize with it every night. It's kind of like a mask, like every third night, second or third night, or when my skin is particularly dry. And Carol's saying I would make a lovely Elsa. My voice doesn't go that high, unfortunately. I'm in alto, not a soprano. So Quinn says, "Don't eat my skincare." I know I'm not eating the pearl. Although in Asian Beauty they would used to eat pearl powder, and Carol also said they still do that. So do not eat your pearl. Use your pearl for your skin. So yeah, it should correct dark spots, even out your skin tone, provide lots of lovely moisture. I could see this being a one-layer moisturizer for some folks. So that would certainly be an option, because like I said earlier, to me it's kind of like a pressed serum. Do you have any other questions for me today? I'll wait a few seconds, minute or two, if you have any questions. As always, I'll try to catch up with you guys after the live if you've missed it in the actual live on the Sabbatical Beauty page. I will try to get to your questions and comments later. Otherwise, it's Pie Day today, guys. It is the 14th. I really hope all of you indulge in some pie in your lives. So that is my old-time Southern me coming out from the deep depths of Alabama. So eat some pie. And otherwise, if you are watching on YouTube, I also hope you've had some pie. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's so much informational videos up and little quick tips. And oh, we do have a last question. Quinn asks, do you think Pearl will replace Dorian Gray serum for your age spots? I don't know what's working anymore, so I'm like scared to take out things from my regimen. So I don't know so much if it will replace Dorian Gray or if I'll just have to like use the two together. But that's what I've been using, and it's very, the edges are lighter. It used to be a lot darker. Same with this spot. It's getting a lot lighter on the edges, and so I'm just gonna use both of them forever. So there's that. Amy says she ate cheese. I love cheese too. Cream cheese as well. Just all the cheeses, all the things, all the pies. I do hope everyone indulges in pie. Oh my god, Sunny. I totally use Dorian Gray anti-aging serum for my dark spots. That's what I was swearing by earlier. Dorian Gray serum for life, y'all. So there's that. Anyway, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful night filled with lots of pie, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys, have a good night.